What do I mean when I say that atheism is a religion? The go-to response is to say that atheism is a religion because it is. Because legally, it counts as a religion. They have atheist organizations, atheist pacts, foundations, not-for-profits. When an interfaith group went to meet President Obama earlier this year, atheists were included. That is the go-to 500 characters or less answer to why we consider atheism a religion. And while it's a good answer, it's not a complete answer, and I'll tell you why. You have to ask yourself, why is it that theists consider themselves religious? What is it that we do that makes us religious? And therein lies the issue, because whenever you attempt to define religion, you always come up with about a half dozen different answers. But what is it that we do that makes us religious? And I'll go back to a sermon from a minister named Terry, who has since become more involved higher up in the Anglican Church. But years ago, and when I say years ago, I'm talking about the early 90s. I remember this because he referenced Sega, so it was obviously during Genesis's heyday. Terry did a sermon about faith. And he said that on Sunday we dress up, but that we can't wait to get home and take off our church clothes and put on regular clothes. And his favorite piece of clothing was running shoes. He couldn't wait to get home and put on running shoes. And he said that we should go to church in our running shoes. And let me explain the metaphor. He was saying that we should be, as we are in church, all the time. That we should live our faith. So when I say that an atheist is religious, what I mean is that their atheism is part of their lifestyle. And that is the same way that a Christian's theism, or any theist theism, is part of their lifestyle. So ask yourself this. Are there any atheists who make their atheism part of their lifestyle? Do we know of any atheists that post YouTube videos about their atheism on a regular basis? Take, for example, Zeta Jones. Take, for example, TJ the Amazing Atheist. Take, for example, Thunderfoot. Take, for example, the Atheist Experience. These people all go and make spreading their views part of their lifestyle. They are evangelical in their atheism. They are as much of a zealot as any preacher is. They make their atheism part of their lifestyle. When I say atheism is your religion, what I mean is that you live it. You live atheism as if it were your faith. You live your atheism as a devout Christian would live their Christianity. And this extends further than just people on YouTube. Let's use Christopher Hitchens as a better example. Christopher Hitchens is an evangelical atheist. He writes books. He does talk shows. He does forums. He does roundtables. He wrote a book called God is Not Great. People often use a tire metaphor of claiming that not believing in God is the same as not believing in pixies, and that if not believing in God is a religion, then not believing in pixies is a religion. That's only true if Christopher Hitchens or someone else, but let's use him for an example, if Christopher Hitchens wrote a book called Pixies Are Not Great, How Pixies Ruin Everything. He doesn't get out on a soapbox talking about his disbelief in pixies. He doesn't write books. He doesn't do forums. He doesn't do roundtables. He doesn't try and argue benefits of not believing in pixies. Another tired metaphor is if atheism is a religion, then not collecting stamps is a hobby. This is where this falls apart as well, because we're not talking about passively not doing something, we're talking about actively doing the opposite. Now, me sitting here doing this video is not collecting stamps. And yes, that's not a hobby. But let's say I went and bought a stamp book. And I went to, I don't know, wherever you get stamps, the post office and Valley Village and swap meets, and I spent all day looking at stamps, and I never bought one. And then whenever somebody came over, I opened up my empty book and I said, this is where I didn't buy the stamp, and this is where I didn't buy that stamp, and I didn't collect this stamp, and I didn't collect that one. That is the true parallel between God and stamp collecting. There's a big difference between passively not doing something and actively doing the opposite. So in conclusion, my main point is we may simply be talking across terms. That while you might not consider your atheism a religion, you may consider a lifestyle. Theists consider our religion our lifestyle. We live our faith in the same way you live your non-faith. So in that way, that is why I consider atheism a religion. Please comment, please do a video response. If you think I'm an idiot, please tell me. Happy to respond to any criticisms, happy to respond to anything. Thank you.